In this video, we will talk about the 16x2 LCD, one of the most common display for our Arduino projects. This is how it looks like at the back. Looks so simple. For our demonstration, we'll be using this breadboard together with some jumpers. We'll use our Arduino Uno. We'll be using, of course, this LCD, 16x2 LCD, and then we will also have a 10K potentiometer that we will be using to control the contrast of the LCD. First, let's look at the pins of our display. So pin number 1 is here all the way to pin number 16. Let's talk about it one by one. Let us start with pins number 1 and number 2. These are just the supply and ground for the module or for the display. Let's head on to pin number 3, V0. This is our contrast for the LCD. RS, pin number 4 is register select. RS or register select is used to choose between two modes, that is character mode or instruction mode. The character modes will take all the data from pins D0 up to D7 as characters, while in instruction mode, those data coming through data pin 0 up to data pin 7 will be considered as instructions. Usually, the one that we use is the instruction mode. Let's go on to RW, that is our read or write. Usually, what we just do with the LCD is to write the data, but also when we choose it in the read mode, we can also read what is being displayed on the screen. We have the E there, over there, that is the enable, that is to enable or to disable our display. And as I said earlier, D0 up to D7 will be our data pins. We also have A and K here, pins number 15 and 16. This module has an LED used as a backlight for this, that is to turn it on or off, and those two pins are the anode and the cathode. Anode being the positive, and of course cathode will be our negative supply. So let us go on and complete our circuit and perform some experiments on this. So we'll start by mounting our LCD on our breadboard. There. And later on, we'll put our Arduino positive and negative to these two lines over there, but let us start with all the connections for the LCD module. So pin number 1 is our ground, so we'll connect it to minus. Pin number 2 is our VCC or our VDD or our supply. Let's connect it to positive. For our contrast, we'll mount this on our board. And here we go. We are now on our Arduino IDE, and in here I have opened the Hello World program, which is coming from File, Examples, Liquid Crystal, and Hello World. I have simplified this the program. I have removed some of the comments, and I also modified it so that we can easily understand what is here. In line number 1, we have this include liquid crystal pointage. So the liquid crystal pointage library is explained in the arduino.cc website. Here, there is the liquid crystal explained in the libraries area. Here is the short explanation about the liquid crystal display. And going further down, we can see here the functions that is available for this library. The first one here is liquid crystal, which is where we set up our liquid crystal pins. Take note that with the syntax, we have 4 available formats that we can use. The first two is for the 4-wire mode, and the second 2 is where you can use all the 8 wires mode, meaning that all the data pins from D0 to D7 will be used. For our sketch today, we'll be using this second one in here, where we have to set values for RS, RW, enable, as well as the 4 data pins. We'll be using the second one where we have to supply the values for RS, RW, enable, D4, D5, D6, and D7. So heading back to our code, we have set it as our RS pin for pin number 13, RW for number 12, EN or enable for number 11, and our data will be going through 10, 9, 8, and 7. Our setup function is very simple. Line number 7, LCD.begin 16, comma, and then 2. This line tells Arduino that we'll be using a 16 by 2 LCD where we have 16 columns and 2 rows. Line number 8, LCD.print, we will print the words hello world. For our loop, line 12, LCD.setCursor 01, which tells us that we will be placing the cursor at column 0, row number 1. Well, row number 1 is actually the second row because we are starting from 0. And then what will be printing there on the cursor's position will be seen here at line number 13. So line number 13 is print, lcd.print. So we will print to LCD this value. This value is millis divided by 1000. If this is the first time that you have seen millis, this millis is the time in milliseconds from the last reset of the Arduino. So it is how many milliseconds has passed, and dividing it by 1000 of course will give us how many seconds actually it is. This line means that after reset of our Arduino, the number of seconds that has passed will be printed on our screen. So that is our code. Let us go and upload this and see what happens to our Arduino. Okay, as we can see, we have hope here. We have a very bright LCD there, so I think we have to do something with the contrast. Let's rotate our potentiometer. Okay, there we go. There's hello world, and there is 47 written in here, 50. So now it means that after our reset, 54 seconds has gone by. So let us press reset in here and see what happens. Restart from 0, and then it will be printing again. So that is hello world over there. This number 7, 8, 9, these millis are as we have said. So we are at column 0 and row number 1. So letter H in there is in 0, 0. Letter E is in 1, 0. Letter L is in 2, 0, and so on. Now let us try something different. We'll go to our IDE. Something that is interesting here is this blink. So we'll put blink in our code. I will place it here after our cursor. So let's say lcd.blink, open and close parenthesis. Let's upload this and see what happens. Okay, as you can see in there, our cursor is blinking. That is the effect of the lcd.blink command, or the lcd.blink function. So let me demonstrate to you the function of this potentiometer. This is the one controlling the contrast, as we have said. So if I move it a little, you'll see that is too much. Then this, and that is how clearly you will be able to see the characters in contrast with the backlight in there. With regard to the backlight, I can remove this, the cathode connection. If I remove it, there's still hello world, but the backlight is off. So knowing that we have the LCD, learning about these functions, we can now use it to display anything that we may want, whether it's a string just like that hello world, or it's a value, or it's a variable just like this mill is over here. I hope you learned something from this. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and thank you for watching. I will see you in the next time. Thank you.